Welcome to Profiles in Health and Wellness. I'm Marnie Gellner. We will be talking today to Amanda Cagle from Knoxville, Tennessee. And it is a podcast and a video version as well. So if you're watching on the video, we appreciate that. We welcome you in. If you're just listening to the audio portion, that works as well. Amanda, thank you for joining us. Hello, good afternoon. How are you today?
Doing great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invite.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for just being willing to share what is your story as someone who is very busy as an assistant high school principal who is still during the workday and has shut her office and kindly enough set aside about 20 minutes for us today. That's not easy to do in the middle of a school day.
No, hopefully there's not going to be any knocks on the door asking like, I need my bag out of your office. But if it is, then we're just going to roll with it. That's okay. That's how you work as an administrator. You just roll with it. So if you guys are okay with rolling with it, I'm okay with rolling with it.
And you know what? That's life. And especially during COVID, that's life. We adjust and adapt.
Absolutely.
We've all been doing. How have high schools adjusted and adapted? I can only imagine the stresses you have dealt with in the last calendar year, trying to be part of administration of a school at this time.
Well, we're in Tennessee, a little bit different from other places in the United States. And so we started our school year. Our kids have been going to school all year. And we just keep it really great notes of where kids are at all times. And so if we have to quarantine, we know who needs to be quarantined, and we have a great program for that. And we have been able to do virtual beside some kids that want to do virtual, they do virtual, and other kids that want to be in person can be in person, and it's just side by side simultaneously. So it has been a big learning curve, but I can say our teachers have knocked it out of the ballpark.
Yeah,
a lot of pretty awesome teachers.
I feel like a lot of people are in that place where the things you just rattled off, Amanda, had I said this to you a year ago, you would have been like, we're doing what now? Yeah. And here you are, like, we got this, we got this, we got this. Boom.
It's good.
Smooth machine right now.
It's good. It's good.
Well, credit to you then and your staff and the teachers there and the principal in Knoxville, because that is not an easy feat to just kind of keep the wheels moving and make it okay for everyone, for people who have more concerns, less concerns. There are a lot of people too. This is a very touchy, serious subject. So kudos to you. Let's get right into your profile journey, because I feel like what you have accomplished is pretty significant and that you have a wonderful story to share. So to set this up, in 2019, so 2 years ago, you said that you had decided you wanted to make a change to do something for yourself. Are you getting all kinds of emails? Are you in a...
I'm so sorry. I probably am. I am. I'm like, I'm going to turn that off. I just realized that my email is going off. I'm also, yes, I am. I apologize. Oh,
that's okay. You're in the middle of a workday. This is called real life.
I'm turning everything else off. Nothing else will be on my computer besides you.
Mrs. Cagle is not available.
They
right
know.
Now.
They should, hopefully, right? Yes.
That's always when someone needs you most. However,
it'll be okay.
Okay.
I have my radio off. My radio's off. My phone is off. We're ready to go. I'm focused.
Okay. Perfect. So 2019, a couple of years ago, you wanted to make a change for yourself to get healthy. And you had said that you had some high school friends who tried Profile, who had success with it. So you said you were going to try it. That was literally January 2nd.
Yes.
2019. At the very start of 2019, you set your first meeting. How big of a deal was it to just get to the point where you've chosen a program and you've set a meeting? Is that a big deal?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think that anyone that has been on this journey, I think that this is not your first journey. This isn't your first rodeo with weight loss. And so I had done everything. I had done Weight Watchers. I had done Nutrisystem. I've done all the different programs out there. I've done it by myself. I've read books. And so I just thought it's another program. But I had seen a friend of mine through Facebook, and she had lost a significant amount of weight. And then I was just like, gosh, she looks so good. This may be the program. You know, you're always wondering, is this the program? Is this the program? Is this what's going to help me get my life back together and take control, gain that control back? Because that's what I feel like a lot of us have, is that we have lost the control, and that we've given that control to food. and being sedentary. And so is this the program that's going to give me my control I need to have to be successful? And so I started January the 2nd. I had called before Christmas, made my appointment, had my appointment that very first day they were open, January 2nd. I think it was like 9 a.m. I was ready to go. And so I went in and I met with them, and, you kind of like look and say, well, this is similar to this program I've done, and this is similar to this program. But, you just have to take that leap of faith and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And the great thing with Profile is they have it to a science. I mean, they were scientists, they were doctors, they figured it out, right? They figured out how to make this work. And so they figured it out. And so that first week I lost a lot of weight, and I was like, oh, kind of like this. And then the first month I lost even more weight, and I was like, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So, that continuous motion just kept feeding your drive, and you kept feeding like those temptations. Your temptations were now like, for me, and everyone's different, but for me, my temptations kind of like took a back seat, because I knew that next week I could lose another 2 pounds, which is going to get me to this size of pants. And so that's kind of how I was able to be successful on the program.
So you knew pretty early in the little write-up the profile said that you knew after the first month that you could do
my program. This is my program. After the first month, I knew this is what was going to do it. Because I'd never lost that amount of weight with any other program before. And I think also the big thing for me, and I'm going to speak for myself, but I think this is going to hit home to a lot of people that have a significant amount of weight loss to lose, because I had to lose a significant amount of weight loss.
You said 75 pounds originally.
Yeah. Yes. At first I was like, I'm just going to go to lose 75. And then, because I was thinking that was when I was getting married, that was my skinny. And I don't know, like when I got married, I like starved myself so I can get into the dress, and so I wanted to get in that size again. I wanted to be in that size again. And so I was like, that's my dream size. That's my dream. And then I surpassed that, which is just crazy and altogether. But, you have to think about, like, for me, it's just not the food. It was so many other things. And so what I was able to get with Profile is that I had that person that I talk to weekly. You can go to other programs and they have people, but I just felt like my people became more than just my coaches. They were like my friends. Like one of my coaches is one of my dear friends, and he has since moved on to, we all move on to different jobs in our life, and he's moved on, but we still keep in touch. And I know that without him, there's no way I would have been able to be at this point. And then I've had other coaches come into my life, and we're beyond just that relationship of every week we sit and chit chat. Because I think that there's so much with our daily lives that affects weight loss. So that's I think what really helped me, that weekly meeting with them, having that one-on-one, feeling like I was focused. I think that really helped me.
At what point did you change your goal from 75 pounds to 100 pounds?
Okay, so this is a funny story. So I was like, I want to be at 75 pounds. And then, you're losing weight. And I think I had hit like maybe 40 pounds. And I was like, I saw on Facebook a girl in my program, and every franchise has different things. Like sometimes you sign the wall, and sometimes you get like balloons. But the girl in my program, she got a t-shirt for hitting 100 pounds. And so I was like, I don't know about you, but like, I'll do anything for a t-shirt. And so I looked at my coach and I was like, so there's not a 50 pound, like, do you get like a 50 pound shirt? Cause I should be getting that soon. He's like, no, it's only 100 pounds. I was like, I could do 100 pounds, right? And he's like, you can do 100 pounds. I'm like, you get a t-shirt for 100 pounds? You get a t-shirt. Sign me up for 100 pounds. So I did it for a t-shirt. But I had a really big talk with my coach, and I thought, can I do this? And I was on that trajectory of, I was doing so well with my weight loss. I was just like, I can do this. And I did. I was able to hit that. And so, I think that, but the big funny joke was that, well, I'll do anything for a t-shirt. I mean, like, come on.
Including lose 100 pounds. No biggie.
Lose 100 pounds. Lose 100 pounds.
Did you get the shirt?
I did get the shirt. I've only worn it once, but I did get the shirt. So I'm keeping it as
that baby in the rotation.
I know. I have it as a memento, because for me, like, I think that day was it was just an emotional day. And so I'll always have that, because with weight loss, and especially when you get to different levels, your weight fluctuates, because that's what happens. So my weight's gone up and my weight's gone down and my weight's gone up, but I always will know or remember that moment that I hit that 100 pounds. So it was pretty.
That's January 15th, 2020.
Yeah, so I did. My goal was to do it within a year. And so I really wanted to be able to hit 100 pounds in a year, because I thought, like, that's pretty significant.
Oh,
and I'm very goal oriented. If you talk to any of my friends, like, give me a goal. If you can give me a goal, then I can set my mind forward to that. And so I was very goal oriented, knowing that I wanted to do it within a year. And I was just kind of bummed out I didn't hit it within a year, but then I was like, I was pretty close.
Yeah, so, it was a year and 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, and I talked to my coach. He's like, Amanda, you need to calm down. It's like, okay. So I hit it within that time. And then, but then, like, with myself, knowing myself, I had to talk with him, like, oh, what's my next goal going to be? Because I found that out, like, I have to set those. And so then I was able to set new goals, to keep my healthy lifestyle going.
And is that where the half marathons then came in?
That is where the half marathon came in. So I hit my goal January 15th. And then I started seeing some posts from some of my other friends that they had done the Disney half marathon, the Princess half marathon. And at that time, right before that, I had joined a gym too. I had not really been as active losing the 100 pounds, but then I knew that in order to keep the 100 pounds off, and then, to tighten myself, I needed to be more active. And so I joined a gym and I started running a little bit more, and being 100 pounds lighter, I was like, holy crap, I can run five miles. I didn't know I could run 5 miles in one setting. And so I started adding more mileage. And then I talked with some friends of mine. I was like, let's do a girls' trip to Disney. So we decided that no husbands, no children, 6 girls. We were going to go run the Disney half marathon. We were going to go and have fun as adults and do all the grown-up stuff that Disney has to offer and run this. And so that was what our plan was. And so at that time, then I put that in okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I started training. Well in advance for the half marathon, which ended up, due to COVID, got canceled, but I was able to do some other half marathons instead. I was able to do the Smoky Mountain half marathon, which was a pretty emotional ride, because
really,
when they do this, and I may get teary-eyed even thinking about it, because even when I watch the video, my sister watches it and she got teary-eyed too. So when you do the half marathon, you sign up, you forget. I signed up months in advance, and they said, is there anything we need to know? Is this a special occasion? All this kind of stuff. And I wrote in there, like, I had lost 100 pounds and that I wanted this to be my next goal. I was going to do it. And so you're running, and like mile 13, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. And you realize in your head, like, I've accomplished this, and I'm crossing the finish line. And the woman says, and this is Amanda Cagle. This is our very first half marathon, and she has lost 100 pounds. And I was like, oh my God. So my mom and dad had come down.
You gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, my mom and dad had come down from Indiana, and there were my friends had surprised me along the race. And I did not know. I had friends who were like stationed different places, or they would drive and they were screaming my name. And so then, like, the whole thing was just like, they were there to celebrate me and this huge accomplishment. And so, you're tired. And at the end of this, I live in the Smoky Mountains. So you can imagine it's hilly. And the very last bit of it was very, very hilly, because it was the foothills. And so I'm running this and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And then she talks about that. And then she says, I need everyone to give this woman a round of applause because she's changed her life and all this. And these people who are waiting are just screaming for you because they just see what you've accomplished, and they can see it on you. So I have my friends in the background, they're crying. So it was a pretty emotional thing. It was like a big circle, a year and a half before then, I was at my heaviest weight I'd ever been. And I was, not able to be the mom I wanted to be, and the wife, or the example of any of these kids. I mean, like, I get to be with children. I'm with 1,000 children daily, and I am an example for them. And so I wasn't being the example that I wanted to have my kids have. And so a year and a half later, here I am, 100 pounds lighter, and I just ran a half marathon. And I was like, I tweeted it out to my school. I'm like, you can do anything. You just have to have know that about yourself. You have the ability to do anything you think you can do. So for me, that was a huge moment in my life.
That's an incredible story.
So yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. So, and then I have a great support group.
Yeah, apparently they must be really proud of you.
They were. And my sister, who lives in Minnesota, she was watching the video. My friend from here came here, and she was videoing it and sending it to my sister, and my sister's crying. And so I have family across the nation. So they were all able to be there for me, just to know that, I was able to do this, and I was able to do it through profile. I was able to do this because there was no way I could have done this with being 100 pounds heavier.
Right. So you needed to get your body mass lowered in order to run, and then it all kind of is connected from there.
And I'm doing my second half marathon on Sunday. So I'm doing a second one on Sunday. So, this is a new thing. Yeah. So I talked with someone, and they said, well, this is your new identity. So this is your new identity. And so I didn't even think about that. My new identity is that I'm a healthier individual, and I am healthy. And I do speak about what the pitfalls that, you can have whenever you don't put yourself forward and go through fast food and do all these things and put so many other things in front of you. So no, this is my new identity. That's
a really big statement.
But it is. This is my new, I am a healthier person, and I'm a healthy person who speaks about profile. I speak about profile to everyone. So, they're like, how'd you lose weight? I'm like, it's a program. Do you want me to talk to you about it? And they're like, okay.
How much time do you have?
So no, I do. But then I also speak to lots of people about my running and how I was able to do that. I created a whole Instagram account for that, because I felt like I was bombarding my regular friends with all my runs. They're like, we get it. You run, we get it. We get it. You just ran 7 miles. Congratulations. We get it. So I felt like I created a new Instagram account just for that. So I do feel like this is my identity, part of who I am.
Yeah, you are now a person who has successfully lost 100 pounds and completed half marathons, and it really transformed your life.
It did.
That is not a small statement, but it's also not an understatement.
I really think, 100% it transformed my life. 100%. I'm not the same person I was, and I think my cores, my morals, of course, everything's the same. But I think that I am, when you think about a weekend, and we just had spring break last week in Knoxville. And so, normally on my spring break, I was like, let's catch up on this movie or this book or this, and you're thinking about those activities where you're very sedimentary. Mm-hmm. My spring break week, I painted shutters, I mulched, I got all my weeds up, I painted a bathroom, I painted a bedroom. So I was very active, and I think that being healthy allows you to be that active person, and allows you to be able to bounce back too. Because if you are not healthy and you're doing all that, you go back to work and you're like, what did I do? What did I do over break? So, yeah.
And now you can, if you want to watch movies or shows, you could do them on a treadmill, for example.
100%.
Being on a treadmill?
100%. I love to watch different movies. And I'll tell you, one of my absolute favorite movies is Brittany Runs a Marathon. And I liked it before I started running it. But I'm going to tell you, there's so many places in that movie you're like, oh, I totally get that, because she transformed her life too. Yeah. And so,
it's not about the marathon.
I love, and before I do a half marathon, the night before or the day before that, I try to watch that movie, or a big race. I try to watch that movie because it gets me motivated to know, okay, you can do it. You're not going to die on the course. I promise you can do it. You can walk it too if you need to walk it. So no, it's just one of those things that I can do those types of things, and I can also have my snuggles with my little girl, and we can watch it, and she can snuggle with me. But I also know that I feel like I'm more present in my kids' lives. I feel like I'm more present.
just to go back real quick, when you were on the treadmill, did you ever run your fastest mile while watching Bridgerton or something like that?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. Did she tell you that?
Yeah, a little tidbit from your sister.
Oh, my sister is so horrible. No, I will tell you, that is a great show, and it will make you go pretty fast on the treadmill. I mean, like, you can sit there and be like, or you just have to make sure your door is locked in the wherever your treadmill is at, and your children know like they cannot come to the mommy's working out. Mommy's working out.
One thing you had written, Amanda, is that Profile had given you more than just a smaller waist. It has given me a life I could have never imagined.
Yeah. Yeah.
What more do you want to say about that?
I feel like that's just that. I think that when we think about weight loss, we just really honestly think about, I want to be this size. I want to be this weight. And so I think that in our mind, that's what we automatically think about, but we don't think that all the other great things it can give you. And it can give you that time with your kids. I mean, like, I have a picture from when I hit 50 pounds. I lost 50 pounds, and I have a picture, and it was a pretty important picture that I have, because my daughter could wrap her arms around me. Oh. And so for her to wrap her arms around me, and she was 8 at the time. Like, my parents are seeing it, and they're sending me texts like, do you realize that your daughter can wrap her arms around you now? And so you don't think, you think like all those little things that you have those moments with your family. And you're able to create a family, create a good, healthy lifestyle for your family. Mm-hmm. I mean, like my son, I still get them some junk food every once in a while, because they're kids. I mean, like, yeah. I had junk food. And so like I said, like, hey, do you want this cupcake for your lunch today? He's like, Mom, that has like 250 calories. It's just not worth it. And so like for me, that's an 11-year-old, or to me, a 12-year-old telling me that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, do you want a Profile bar? He's like, I'll take a Profile bar, because he loves the Profile bars. So he'll have that for his sweet treat sometimes. But I mean, I think that you just get to do so many things. I got to run a half marathon. I get to run 5Ks all the time. And my very first 5K I ever ran, I did it before I started Profile. I did it in 55 minutes, which you can walk that, but yeah. Like that was, and then, this past Sunday, I did a 5K for Down syndrome awareness, and I did it in 30 minutes and like 40 something seconds. And so, 20 seconds I would have made my PR, but I mean, like, for me, I was like, that's a pretty big difference in that you just get to have, you have so many little things that you don't even think about than just a smaller waist. You just have your kids are just, and your family is just, they're able to see how you can live, and you just get so many great things from this. You become happier. I know that sounds like silly. It is sometimes nice to eat ice cream and watch Bridgerton on the couch. I mean, but you also can be happy like that, knowing like you just have those endorphins, that you just feel good about yourself. And you can do both. You can find a way to balance both. You 100% can do both. You can have those days that you're like, I mean, there are some days that I need to have my carbs, because and I'll be honest with you, I'm running this half marathon on Sunday, and there are some hills, because it's in East Tennessee, and then it's in the Smoky Mountains. And I've already told my husband, like, that night we're going to go to this one particular ice cream place that I've never indulged in. And because I just haven't, that hasn't been a goal of mine. I said, but I'm running 13 miles. Like, we're going to go have ice cream. He's like, okay. And we can. Yeah. Okay. So you can do both. And so it's been a pretty, it's been a great thing. And I could never have done this without Profile. I could never have done it without them. Well, the words you speak they are meaningful, and more than the words, it's the enthusiasm that you speak them with. I mean, I know that you are truthful, and you are energetic, and you are sincere, and you are overwhelmingly happy and really inspirational, Amanda. Losing 100 pounds, and you are still kicking it. I mean, every day is just sounds like it's a joy for you. Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, there are some days that are very, very difficult. And like my weight loss, my weight has gone up then from the 100 pounds, but it goes back down. But what I have to tell my coach is so my coach is just amazing. And I said, like, Courtney, I'm like really bummed out because I'm up a little bit. And she's like, but Amanda, you're not really now focusing on the number anymore. You're running half marathons.
Right.
You're
gaining
this.
muscle.
She goes, your goal no longer is that number. You hit that number, but now you're doing these things. And so I think that's what I also profile gives you, is that you have other things besides just a number. Like, I'm stronger. She's like, you are stronger than you were. So you may not be that 100 pounds lighter. You may be, 95 pounds lighter or 80 pounds lighter, but you are a stronger human being than you were before. And so that's great too. So
Physically and mentally and emotionally and all around.
Yes.
What
Except I'm crying on your show. I'm just like sitting here boo-hooing about my.
That's a great story.
I'll probably leave here and I'll just think about that and I'll watch the video again and just be boo-hooing. So
we're all imagining you being metaphorically carried over the finish line. What a beautiful story. Really, all of it.
And it's happening. Like I said, I'm loving it.
It's incredible, Amanda. Congratulations on what you've done and on what you've accomplished. 100 pounds lighter, but also stronger and freer and more active, and a role model for the students in your high school and the kids in your life and your family and just all of it. Congratulations. Job really well done.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's Amanda Cagle on Profiles in Health and Wellness.
Thank you.